Hi everyone, this is Nidoking from the 6 Pokemon Party, and today I am playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that there are a few big changes on this game compared to 5Ds that previously came out on the 360. What's cool about this is that your save actually does transfer over. So, for example, let's say you unlocked all 1,000 cards in the previous game. Well, those cards and your deck recipes do transfer over to this game, and all those cards that you unlocked. Now, I would have to say that the only downside is that, it seems that the ban list or the limited list got a lot larger. Anyway, that's just a small thing that kind of limits you. I had to change around a lot of my decks, but primarily for this game I was playing with a Pyro deck, which I love. But what's nice about the single player is that you actually get to play through all 4 generations in set campaigns. And as you see here, you can actually pick a duelist that is an actual character to represent you, or you can pick one of the characters that were in the previous game if you like them too. But as you can see, that in each campaign tree there are 4 mini trees where you have a set amount of duels and then 1 boss. And as you see here, I am about to pick my Pyro deck against Yubel from the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series. Overall, the gameplay hasn't changed much, it's pretty much the exact same, but they really did make a lot of improvements based on the last one. The field even looks a little bit different. To me, it kind of looks like it's shifted to the right, so the left side can be for where the cards are. I don't know, I haven't played the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Game in a while. But what's really nice about this game, though, is that towards the beginning it is pretty easy and simplistic. The duels aren't really all that hard, but as you progress through the campaign, they get, I would say they get a little bit more challenging depending on the deck you're using. Now, the only sucky thing about my Pyro deck is that most of it is based around 1 card. And he's that little card in the middle in my hand, Raging Flame Sprite. I think that's what it is, I can't exactly remember. The way this deck is set up is that it's all based on him. I have 3 of them in my deck, and what he does is he can attack directly. Starting at 100 attack base, and with each successful direct attack he gains 100 1000 attack. Sorry about that. But yeah, I have a lot of trap cards that prevent him from either getting destroyed or prevent him from being attacked, or even a few equip spells which drastically increases his his attack. As you can see here, I'm about to use negate attack, but I realized that, oh, he's got 2000 defense. Now, Yubel really wasn't all that much of a challenge to battle at all for that field card, mostly because after each damage step, depending on who's attacking, they get 300 HP back, or life points. Now here I was kind of debating whether I wanted to synchro summon the Black Rose Dragon, but I figured that there was no point, so I just summoned the Flame Monarch anyway. Now, as far as the whole gameplay goes, multiplayer hasn't changed much at all. Multiplayer is pretty much the same, either 1v1 or 2v2. So, I mean, they didn't do anything with that. But going back to the whole card thing, what's really impressive is that there are a huge total of 6,000 cards, including the new XYZ summoning, which, in my opinion, is a little much. It's a little unnecessarily overpowered, but they're nice additives to the game as well. I personally don't really like them, but the fact that there are 6,000 cards pretty much gives you endless combination possibilities and lets you kind of build your deck the way that you want. Maybe not as much as Dueling Network does, but you know, no one can really do what Dueling Network did. As you saw, that this is in match rules, where there are basically it's best 2 out of 3. So if you win 2 in a row, then you win. He's just picking right now. Now, one thing that they did do to this game that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me was way back in the first generation tree, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Somehow they implemented XYZ summoning and Synchro summoning into their decks. Now, I haven't watched the show in a long time, so unless those characters came back and suddenly picked up those cards and put them in their decks, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, I know Pegasus had some XYZ Gem Knights in there, and it was just a surprise because I know that those didn't come around until the Zexal part of the series, I believe is what it was called. Now that's one thing I don't really like at all that they did to this, is that they gave the older versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! The newer ways of summoning, like Synchro summoning and even XYZ summoning. That got kind of annoying trying to beat Pegasus and Yugi and all of them. So not all of them had them, but it was mostly like the big name people. Like, I know Kai had a few, I believe. Pegasus had one. And on top of his Toon deck, it just didn't help the fact that he's an annoying bastard already. But out of everybody that I've played so far in this game, Yubel is probably the easiest. I don't know, I thought that the first time I faced him he was actually a challenge, but I think it was just one of those where I ended up having to leave halfway through the duel and then just never picked it back up until after. I really wish there was something else that they would fix too, is that the notification pop-ups of you wanting to activate something. That's one thing that always annoyed me, because I would always end up mashing the B button, and then when I wanted to do it, I would accidentally mash the B button again and then deactivate it, and it was just something that was always annoying. But one thing that was always nice about this game is that whether you won or lost, whether it was single player or even online, you do unlock cards. And this time around, it seems like you unlock a hell of a lot more than you do before, because of the fact that there are 6,000 cards total compared to about 1,000. So overall, I think this game is definitely a vast improvement over the previous one, and it feels like it's actually worth the $10 of playing. And what's cool too is that even the DLC packs that you bought carry over to the game. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. This is Nidoking from the 6 Pokemon Party. If you liked what you saw, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.